Coding University, training humans to train themselves. Okay, today what I want to talk about is starting over. Okay, let me explain it in a little bit here. We're going to do a little bit of roundabout. So first of all, we're an automatic. Okay, in other words, we do things automatically again and again and again and again. We are, so to speak, what we repeatedly do. Okay, that's why you know you're automatic. Uh, Now, often what we try to do is drive that automatic to do things it doesn't want to do. And then it goes back into what it normally does and repeats and repeats and repeats and back to where we were before. Okay, now you just experienced 5 days of training. There is a way to train in this automatic, and that's what we want to. And you've experienced it. You could do it. You basically saw that you consciously could control what you did or thought or felt. Okay, and if you did it in a rewarding way, your subconscious got jealous, and pretty soon it took over. Okay, it took over. Okay, and we repeatedly do what is rewarding or good for us. Okay, and we avoid things that are not rewarding or good for us. Or being safe or getting away from those things is repeated so that we are safer or whatever. So we repeatedly do what is rewarding. So we want our automatic, our to be jealous of us and to take over what we're doing here. And you've just experienced what that's like, and it doesn't happen instantaneously. It doesn't happen without effort, but you can train. Your conscious can use automatics to assist it in developing, making it fun, being the Tom Sawyer, so to speak, to get it all to work. And you've experienced a little bit of that today, but we're not trained that way. We're trained to push, to force, and as opposed to develop our automatic to drive it to do things it doesn't normally do. And you want to think of that real quickly here. Here, is it better to force a machine to do something it isn't intended to do, or is it better to train or build an automatic it's intended to do and just automatically does it? Okay, where would you want to put your effort? Building the machine that just automatically will do it again and again and again and again, or one that you could force it to do it once, maybe twice. Where would your best effort be? Okay, so training, very very important. But we are trained by them out there. They trained me. They did it to me. Or accidentally, or circumstances, or whatever you want, your genetics. Okay, whoever you want to blame it on. Okay, but training, you become who you train yourself to become, or who you get trained to become. Okay, and you live the life or experience the life that you were trained to experience or live as well. And we're going to talk more about that as well. Okay, so I got what just it always frustrates me when kids in high school and college. Well, what do you want to be? Oh, I don't know, because they're looking at what can they do, and that's not where they should be looking. It says what do you want to become is who you want to train yourself to be, and they don't see it that way. They look at who they are and what they've done, and they look, so to speak, in the rearview mirror at themselves, and I can't do it. Okay, so they try to pick things within their strengths, within their, like that. But no, you can train yourself. Now, training yourself is purported to be so hard because people force, and it never sticks or holds, and that's also frustrating because you're always driving, as opposed to truly training your machine. Uh, uh, when I got out of high school, I wanted to make a difference, do something great, be a star, do something like that. Of course, no, got to go to college. So I went to college. Okay, now after college, of course, now I can go do great things, be a star. But again, nothing again. But I tried. I pushed. I pushed. And I tried and tried and tried. But I do something and then back. I couldn't maintain the effort or the whatever long enough in some direction so that it really would work. Okay, so we want to go back to like moms. Okay, moms, they get trained by their mom on how to be a mom, but they take it in and develop themselves. See, their mom showed them all the, say 40 plus experiences, like Alan Carr showed his smokers how to become non-smokers, but they had to go in there and develop it for themselves in their specific. So they had to go, they started level 1, level 2-ish, and then they had to develop level 2 for themselves, and then they had to push to 3, 4, and 5 to, master it such that, mom's fried chicken, my mom's fried chicken is the best, or my mom's chocolate chip cookies are the best. Okay. And they're really good because they're filled, as people say, they're filled with love. And that's because when mom makes it, she attaches love to all those things, okay? And that's internal rewards are what we want to start doing. That's what we want to have driving us. All those great internal rewards. Some people are, my son, I'm proud of what I did, or, this is a challenge. I love the challenge, or it's interesting, or, you wonder, I wonder what it could be like. And, there's all these great, there's tons of them. So whatever, is for you, some people it's beauty. Some people it's interesting, whatever. It's like whatever drives you, but it's got to be internal such that you want to repeat it again and again. So back here real quick here. Okay, so moms are great examples, okay? And also, for instance, like my wife, when she was younger, she was asked to teach kindergartners. Now, she wasn't trained to be a teacher, and so she went in there and she taught kindergarten, and she trained herself to become a great teacher. Then they asked her to be a first grade teacher, then a second grade teacher, then a third grade teacher, then a fourth. The whole point is that she was better than any of these college trained teachers that were out there because they did it mechanically. They didn't really they didn't train themselves. It wasn't internally driven. You're supposed to do this. You're supposed to do that. No, she didn't. She felt that it was helping the student. Oh, I love that I can help it. You could see the child's. Those are the things that was driving it for her, and she really did a great job, and it continues to do it. She's teaching adults now, so do that. When we took on the moon to travel to the moon, if it was a kid, what do you want to be? And they can't do it. Can you go to the moon? Nope, can't go to the moon. Okay, but we said we can go. We had no idea how to go to the moon, so we developed, as a country, we developed this thing called NASA, so to speak, an automatic that sort of created and generated the training to get things to happen that we could go to the moon, and then etc. And we continued on with that process. When my wife and I were first married, we looked at homes, and one of the things we did, we'd look at not new homes, but fixer-upper homes. Okay, and we look at these junky old homes, and we go, oh, you can just see, we could level 2, right? We're in there developing level 2. What can we do with this home? We could put hits and this, and I knew a little construction, so we started figuring it out. But there were a lot of things I had no idea. I could do this, but I couldn't do that. But I figured I could figure out how to do it, learn how to do it. So we became, shall we say, developers of homes, and we got better and better at it. And then when we went to another home, it was like even more exciting because we wanted to do it again and again and again. and it was exciting because it was not just the end product, it was the process of doing it and figuring it out and getting it to happen, and then after it happened, how wonderful it was, and then we got to experience it. The whole process was great. Okay, we loved it. Okay, now let me just talk about that again, starting over. Okay, so I want you to really get this, is that okay, a lot of people build careers or do things, they go on diets, and then they lose, they gain it all back. Oh, I got to start over again. Or they go and get fit. Oh, I got to start over again. And it feels so horrible because they were pushing a machine that wasn't trained. They were pushing a machine that wasn't meant to do that. Okay, one of the biggest challenges out of school is you get students saying, "Oh, I'm never going to do that again. I'm not going to read another book again. I'm not going to develop." Oh, hated that because it was push, force, ugly, 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 and training. That's not training. Okay, you got to make your subconscious jealous so it takes over. You got to develop automatics to assist your conscious to develop things that you do and how to enjoy them, how to figure out how to enjoy them and get into it, get interested in it, feel proud of doing it, be curious about, wonder what it'd be like if you did this, and get into those. And hopefully you experienced a little of that with this last 5 days. You got excited a little bit about playing around in the idea of, wow, these from just a code, this whole image pops into my head, and then you start thinking, wow, and I could read it 2,000 words a minute. Wonder what that'd be like. Oh, what can I do with it? And you start, the excitement of it starts to get there, and you start to wake up, excited. Oh, I get to do this. Okay, because your training automatic needs to be something that's exciting, that you want to do again and again and again. Ed Catmull at Pixar, in his book, he talks about how he got his first successful picture there, and he was like, oh man, he had so many of his friends, rise to the top and then plummet, fall out of sight, never to rise again. And he thought, I don't want that to happen to me. And so he started, his whole next part was figuring out how to not have that happen. And he found out, it's the whole thing is that you got to start all over, but it's not like you're starting over. It's like you get to start over again. Oh, this is so exciting. I get to start a new movie. Oh, we're going to go through this. It's going to be ugly, I know, but I'm going to figure it out. It's going to be, and he talks about how ugly the movies are, how much money he has to spend in it to start with. And it's like, yeah, it's great. Sure, we got to be businessmen, but man, we got to have, we're doing this because it's just who we do, and it's just, we love doing it. And it's, you really got to get the, your subconscious takes over when it's jealous, right? So here you got this subconscious, and you've always see these guys. How come that guy's good at everything, right? And there are people like that, right? They're just good at everything. It's like, well, they get so excited learning how to do something, then they do it, and then the next thing you know, their subconscious does it. So now they go, oh, I want to do something. Your conscious gets a little jealous, and now it wants to figure out something new to do that's exciting and that the subconscious doesn't know. But as soon as it knows how to do it, then the subconscious figures out how to do it and does it faster and faster. And it's just like, it's like, can you imagine waking up each morning going, man, this is going to be such a great day. All right. Now, this is the way they tell you to design a great day. You go in, you figure out, okay, what are those things that I like to do, and plan them into your day. Right? Well, see, you get to train everything you do. And if you've trained everything you do that it's something great and your subconscious loves to do it, it's just sort of like, wow, it's just, like, what do I get to wake up and do today? But, you want to design and build and grow things and develop other things. But you're starting over. It should never be. It's like, I get to start over. I get to do this. That's what we are. We're humans. We are automatics that do things that are rewarding, and we do them again and again and again and again and again, and we love it. And we avoid those things that aren't rewarding. We stay away from them. We hide from them. We run again and again and again away from them. Okay, because that's what we do. Okay, so this idea of forcing yourself to do things you don't like to do, and that you've got to get rid of that. You got to get rid of that. And we went through this this last 5 days or 5 sessions of training ourselves. You got to do that. Wasn't that fun? Wasn't that interesting? You got to train yourself like that. As we go through this, we're going to be doing structural things. We're going to do whole sort of thing. And it's going to be so exciting to see what you'll be amazed what your brain can do. Your brain is so amazing. We're going to talk about this idea of the structure and how we're doing the flip books to get these little mental mechanisms working. Then we're going to put them in a structure, and all of a sudden you're going to take written material, and it's just going to fly in, give you meaning and understanding. But that's just a minor. You can build these little machines and build structures and do amazingly crazy things with things that you probably never even thought of doing, that I've never even thought of doing. So I want you to understand this idea. If you wake up, oh, I got to start over, it's like you're forcing yourself to do it. Right? Start finding some interest in it. Find some joy and try figuring out to get it so that it's something you just automatically can do. Okay, to figure this out. Automatically can do to do it. That's so exciting. Oh, I get to figure out another one. I get to do another one of this. And the training that we have out there, that there's effort. There's hard work. You've got to undo that training because you've got to go like the weightlifters. You got to develop ideas like the burn and things like that. You've got to make your subconscious jealous. You've got to master it and perfect it in a way such that when the subconscious copies it, it's like, wow, am I good or am I good? Because it's going to do it again exactly the way you trained it to do. Okay, all right, but enough of that. The whole thing is you started training, and see, this is it. It's like you got trained by somebody else up to this point, and you get to start over. It's now your turn. What are you going to do with it? I mean, I don't know how long you're going to live still, but what are you going to do? From this point on, how excited are you going to get up every morning and go, well, I'm going to train this little thing here today, and it's going to be so exciting. See, it's yeah, these big results, great. You're going to accomplish those great big things, but it starts with the little things. When mom's changing that diaper, that baby's giggling. It's things like that you just, in that diaper changing, you add the love, the hugs, the kisses, the twinkle in your eye, and just loving it. I mean, that's what it is. And you've got to be able to do it, train yourself till like mom wakes up sometimes in the middle of the night, and it does it exactly, and all those feelings come there. It's just that good. That's level 5, right? When you can wake up in the middle of the night and boom, you just do it. Okay, all right. Vibe Coding University, training humans to train themselves.